Unless you request it. Yeah, because they'll just reimburse you. I don't want that. So I'm always scheduled for her to do it. You need to schedule with her. How you doing?
He's got the card.
That's what we'll do.
She's studying for.
Good evening, everyone. We'll call ourselves to order.
Okay.
Please rise. We'll have a moment of silence, and tonight I'm going to remember Kim Roberts, Southside teacher who we lost recently. So thank you. Thank you. Do we have anybody who wants to lead us in the pledge tonight? Great.
Northview has.
Got it. Are you all right?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Stay up there, guys. Stay up there. So, introduce yourselves.
All right, want to take it to the mic?
I'm Alexander Hess from Northview Elementary.
Alexander Hess?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm Charlotte Hess from Northview Elementary.
Are you and Alexander brother and sister?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm Landon Bells from Northview Elementary.
Are you related to Brittany Vales?
I'm Malachi Prey for Northview Elementary.
Hi, Malachi.
I'm Charlotte Cox from Northview Elementary.
Hi, Charlotte.
I'm Violet Johnson from Northview Elementary.
Oh, could we get that microphone down for just a little bit?
I'm Violet Johnson from Northview Elementary.
Hey, Violet.
Violet.
And
So,
we have Ben Johnson back there as well. He was a little shy today.
okay, that's fine. Hey, you guys did a great job on that. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Okay, we will go ahead and get started by calling our roll. I'm present. Dr. O'Neill? Present. Mr. Heater? Present. Dr. Bales? Mrs. Barnes-Griffin?
Present.
Mr. Irvin?
Present.
Mr. Lowe?
Present.
Thank you. At this point, I think we have Northview Elementary on the schedule. Thank you.
Hello, everyone.
Good evening.
President Williams, members of the board, Dr. Kay, and members of the cabinet, thank you for having me this evening. Each year, the students at Northview create artwork that is gifted to each member of the school board. Art instruction helps children with the development of motor skills, language skills, social skills, decision-making, and risk-taking. This year, every student at Northview created an individual popsicle stick with you in mind. Those popsicle sticks were then glued together to create a collaborative wall hanging. We hope you enjoy this custom-made artwork, and we thank you for all you do to celebrate art in Muncie Community Schools. So each of you have one at your seats.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's great. I see this.
We'll first start. Our first slide focuses on enrollment. At Northview, we have a pre-K class of 20 students, 3 kindergarten classes, 3 first grade classes, 2 second grade, 3 third grade, 2 fourth, and 2 fifth. This year, we have maintained our third section of kindergarten from the previous school year. We have added a third section of first grade and a third section of third grade this year. So we are growing. Our enrollment is up. This has been great and wonderful for our students and our student to teacher ratio this year. especially for those 3rd and 1st grade classes. I would like to share some highlights about Northview. Here I have several pictures up here from Project Lead the Way, our EL students, our sports teams, and our fine arts. I would like to start with Project Lead the Way. We have Project Lead the Way for 1st through 5th grade, taught by Liz Green, and alongside of our classroom teachers. Students are doing very well and enjoying the modules being taught. So far, they have covered light and sound, properties of matter, programming patterns, energy collision, and infection detections. Our fine arts program is thriving. We will be having a fine arts and STEM night on January 18th from 5 to 7. So we welcome you all to come and join us on that night. Our EL population is growing as well and being serviced by Mr. Safwan. He has been a wonderful addition to our building and working with our EL students. Our athletic teams have also been doing very well. Our volleyball team went all the way to the championship game, and our basketball team has made it to the semifinals. Both teams are being led by 2 of our Northview teachers. Next up, we have our academic goals. We have a goal for ELA, which is English Language Arts, Math, and Writing. These goals were determined by the data we received from our iLearn scores from the 2021-2022 school year. We also use our iReady scores as another data piece to support the justification for these goals. So our ELA goal is to increase a 5% increase for our students at or near proficiency in informational text on iLearn reading. Our math goal, we would like to see a 7% increase for our students at or near proficiency in algebraic thinking and geometry. We would also like to maintain time spent on the practice of foundational math skills, in turn increasing student automaticity and fluency in mathematics. And then our writing goal, we would like to see a 10% increase for students at or near proficiency on iLearn writing. Every Thursday, our teachers gather for weekly professional development. This is led by our master teacher, Leah Britton. Based on our school-wide goals, our ILT team, which is our instructional leadership team, which is composed of myself, Leah Britton, and Meg Jersha, we have developed PLC cycles that address the topics that address our goals and also our NIET rubric standards. So far this year, we have focused on success criteria for math and reading, analyzing iReady data and conducting data talks with our students. We have focused on writing and creating student-friendly writing rubrics where our students evaluate and analyze their writing to create student ownership. And we have focused on informational text and focusing on developing vocabulary to increase the comprehension of the text. Here we have our middle of the year data from iReady. At the top, we have our beginning of the year, and at the bottom, we have our middle of the year. The green represents the students who are on grade level or above grade level. The yellow represents those students who are 1 grade level behind, and then the red represents those who are 2 or more grade levels behind. As you can see from the middle of the year data, the MOI, our green area has increased since the beginning of the school year, and our yellow and red has decreased. So our students are showing growth, and they're moving in a positive direction here with our math and numbers and operations, algebra and algebraic thinking, measurement and data, and geometry. So we like to see that positive growth, and we will continue to see that as the year progresses.
So what are the slash marks on the left there?
The slash marks means plus year. So we have the solid green is on grade level. The slash represents above grade level.
Advanced, okay.
Yes. Here is our reading data and we have the same for our beginning of the year. You can see where we were, and then our middle of the year, I only did the slide shots for our vocabulary, and then our overall comprehension, and then the breakdown for literature and informational texts. And as you can see with our middle of the year data that we have, our students are increasing in green, and we're moving in a positive direction there. So our students are learning and showing growth. Here we have a few initiatives to help us towards our goals. We have BSU practicum students for after-school tutoring and classroom lessons focused on informational texts. That was orchestrated by our BSU liaison, Jennifer Cooper. We also have BSU Volunteers for Math Tutors, and that was a collaboration between our BSU liaison and our master teacher. We also focus on iReady incentive goals for classes and individual students. We challenge our students to track their own data to show student ownership so that they know where they are with their information and they are holding themselves accountable and setting goals for themselves. We also focus on time on task when we are outside of the classroom. That brings in our math fluency and practicing those rote skills of addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And we have consistently been implementing new learning from our PLCs with rigor and fidelity. This year, as each school is focusing on attendance, we have instituted the Rocket Attendance Award. This was initiated by our student assistant coordinator, Malik Perry. He developed the criteria and shared it with our teachers and our families. He shares a midweek update with the teachers, and then on Fridays, we announce the class winner at 2 p.m. each day. We started this back on October 24th. Students are holding their parents accountable for getting them to school. They say to their parents, hey, I got to get to school and I got to make it there on time. They're also keeping their classmates accountable too. When they have a friend who is absent in class, they check up on them the next day to say, hey, we needed you here. We're working towards our attendance. So we have seen positive impact with this, and I would like to see as the year progresses how it has affected our attendance thus far. Lastly, I want to talk about our community partners. We have focused on building our relationships with community partners this year. We have partnered with the Teachers College at Ball State University and worked with Kendra Lowry. She has been helping us a lot with our food pantry nights. We have partnered also with the Muncie Fire Department and speaking with our kindergartners. We have also been revitalizing our PTO and connecting our families with teachers through various social and academic events. We've also had some partner building with Meridian Health Services. We were able to secure a skill builder who comes into the building and works with our students on social and behavior skills. And I would like to continue to build build stronger relationships with community partners by reaching out to a local church, like some of the other schools have, to partner with a church. So that is on the docket for me to do next, is to create that partnership. Questions?
Any questions for things going on at Northview?
How are you doing in your role? I mean, this is, talk about like, is there anything that we can do to help you or support you?
Well, I think it's going pretty well so far. I think it's going pretty well. I'm still excited to be the principal at Northview. One thing, I mean, something that thinking about the future is that, Northview, we're using every bit of space that we have. We are at capacity. Just moving forward, Our Project Lead the Way teacher teaches out of the library currently. So just juggling that schedule and having our students be able to still have library time is very difficult to manage. So I would like to have, a classroom space for my Project Lead the Way teacher. My music teacher is on a cart traveling to different classrooms to have specials. So I would like to have a classroom for my music teacher. Our classroom sizes for some grade levels, we were able to get those additional sections. I would like to get some additional sections for the current 4th grade class that we have moving into next year for that 5th grade. Those classes are pretty large. And based on the data that we have so far with that particular grade level, I would like to create a smaller ratio, a student to teacher ratio with those students for next year. So space and the ability to have that would be a big need for us for moving into next year.
Thank you. I see Dia taking her notes over there. Thank you.
What are you seeing from the kids this year?
I'm sorry.
What's your observation of the tone of the building, the students? The pandemic is still out there, but this is our first year without mask and
Overall, the students are, happy to be getting back to a normal routine. I think a lot of things that I've heard from the parents is just actually being happy to be back in the buildings, coming to school for different events, having, parent night out and things like that. They're very excited about that, getting back to doing some of the activities that we've had before prior to COVID. The students are excited about. They're just, overall, the tone is very good.
do you have active community partners that are in the building or helping?
Yes,
regularly?
we have. So we have partnered with Teachers College, so they help with our food pantry. We have some community volunteers that come in to do some work with individual students, with practicing with them on math flashcards and things like that. One of the things that I would like to do is partner with the church to get another consistent set of individuals in our building to help.
Have you talked to Allison Quirk about that? Have you talked with Allison
Yes.
about that? Okay.
Yes.
And just as a FYI, Allison has scheduled meetings with many of the different church groups and different community groups where she's finding out their level of interest in the work they're currently doing, as well as maybe some new interest that they may have. And so we're working on eco maps for each of the schools to find out exactly who's in there, what they're doing, where we may have gaps, and then we plan to fill them.
Okay, good. Any further questions? Thank you. Really
Thank
nice
you.
job.
I just want to say, sorry. I just wanted to say thanks. This is the last year that I'll have a kid at Northview, so I'm a little sad. We love being a Rocket. And I just want to give a plug to the PTO at the Parents' Night Out that Miss Allen just mentioned. Is very cool. They hosted a night where you could drop your kids off for a movie night on Friday so that you could, finish shopping or run errands, whatever. So we really just enjoyed being a Rocket. I can't say enough good things. So I'm sort of sad it's our last year there.
And I just wanted to also say, Aisha, for this being her first year being the principal in the building, you would not know it. She is in there and it is just clicking like she's been the principal for many years. So I've really appreciated how, you have just done a remarkable job. And we're just so pleased you're in your role.
Thank you. Thank you so
So
much.
one final question. The
Yes.
artwork that we have, is
Yes.
this a Northside student?
Not for that.
Not for this. Okay. Okay.
No, not the.
I've got the
Not the card. The wall decor is
Yes.
for Northview students. Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Great.
Okay. Thank you. Ms. Snyder?
Good evening.
Good evening.
So out of our 16 members of the Student Advisory Board, these were the two brave ones that could make it out tonight.
Why do they have to show
Sports are heating up and all of the other stuff. So I know one of the excuses they gave was I have to study for finals. I was like, oh, okay, we'll see. But this will be really short. We just kind of a check-in to let you know what we've done and then what we hope to do second semester. So we haven't been able to meet as much as we did before with the kind of the shakeup in advisory. We're kind of competing with National Honor Society and some other organizations to have our time. So hopefully next semester we'll be able to meet more, but they're going to introduce themselves and then tell you a little bit about what we've done. Okay.
Hey, I'm Sanaya Griffin and I'm a sophomore at Muncie Central and I'm here for the student advisory.
Hi, I'm Jamar Clark from Muncie Central, class 2025.
Okay. Yep. So we had a fall festival and it was actually a great turnout. It was the first one that we've ever had and we had a great turnout. We ended up running out of food and candy in the first 2 hours of it. So it was good, but we've been thinking about what we're gonna do for next year and what we're gonna do better and see what we can do for that.
Tell why we did the fall festival. You remember why we?
We did the fall festival just to create to get our community involved in more stuff at Central because lately we haven't been involved and getting others involved has been very hard, trying and stuff like that.
So, stuff we're trying to get back at Central, we have a cat cave. So my past 2 years I've been there, it have not been up in use. So we're thinking about getting that back up in use for high school, for our people at Central. So they be, high school hard, life hard. And they need a room to feel good about themselves. Then our library. A lot to say about that. It have not been up the past year due to reasons I do not know. Then we have better create a mentor program to read to the elementary students. And we need better advertising for resources in our building. Get more people to donate for the pantry, go to the pantry. We have clothes for our clothes drive that people don't know that we have. And hygiene. We have stuff like deodorant, toothpaste, body wash, shampoo, and just everybody need it. We have good coaches. Then, so for our advisory, we have a new way of doing it, and it's there. I like it.
Like what? What's that advisory grievances? What do you mean? Ways to make it better? What's it?
So advisory is 30 minutes, or we just go in there after first period. So we're working on it. It's not the best, most productive 30 minutes of our day, but we go in there. We're supposed to do a study hall kind of, but some of us choose to not do study hall, so we're just looking for ways to improve it.
Yeah, we're aware of that, and we're working on it. It's like the old homeroom when Mr. Heater and I were students, and not a whole lot got accomplished.
Speak for yourself.
So the cat cave, get that back and running. We're aware of the library issues, and obviously that's been on the agenda. A mentor program for the reading to elementary students. That would be wonderful. Absolutely wonderful if you could do that. On the advertising or marketing, I assume some program that would make our students aware of the resources and where to get them if they need them. So which one of you guys wants to do that?
I think we're both gonna
Not that Kate Elliott needs any more work, but that might be a fun project for her class to
That-
help
that
you
would be a
guys
good
create
project.
advertisement to access your student population so they know about all those resources. Because I know you have all those things, but I'm guessing that you're trying to get it out. So Kate's class might be able to.
Well, one
Sorry,
of the
Kate.
things
for
we
that
talked about in our meeting is that there's a stigma that we don't want our kids. We have a feeling they're feeling that, and that's why a lot of them don't approach the office or they don't ask where to find those things. So that's one of the things we're battling is how do we make it easier for the kids to kind of like access that stuff without, you know, someone making fun of them or things like that. So I think we're doing a pretty good job with the pantry. They call kids down early so they can get their stuff and leave the building if they went for the food pantry. But that was something that the kids brought up at the last meeting, that they feel like a lot of kids want to do it, but they're shy about it or they're nervous.
At the courthouse, I used to put all the toothpaste, mouthwash, deodorant, shampoo on like a lazy Susan bookshelf in a common area.
Yeah.
And people took it great.
Just grab it.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know, but it's not like we're going to run out of that stuff.
Right.
So I would consider seeing what the principal's not here, but I would see about maybe just putting it in the public space available for people to pick. Yeah. Reasonably accessible. Then I know Dr. K and Dr. Reynolds are working with Mr. Walker on the advisory issue. And I don't know, the Bearcats seem to be doing pretty well right now.
I think things are good. Is things good?
Yeah. Is there anything you guys need? Students? Sanaya, you need anything? You're never shy, are you?
I'm not shy.
Not me. She may not be shy, but she definitely is not what high school.
Okay.
I'm just like.
All right. Anything else?
You ready for finals?
Run the list down.
Oh, you ready for finals?
Okay, so why don't we get you out of here so you can go study?
Sounds
Okay.
good.
Thank you. Dr. K.
Well, I have a few updates tonight. First, I wanted to comment that the community sing took place a couple of weekends ago. Chuck Reynolds was, the event coordinator for that. And I just thought it was just a wonderful Sunday event. So thanks to Chuck and all of our teachers and students. And then I also have to give a shout out to Steve Lindell, who is just so gracious and gives his time every year to be our master of ceremony. And he's a very talented guy. And so I appreciate that. We have performances coming up, a couple tonight at Grissom and Northview for holiday presentations. Northside Middle School will be tomorrow night at Central. On the 15th, we have Southside Middle School, EWA in the morning, and Central High School the 15th in the evening. And so we look forward to this week of a lot of celebrations. We're busy working with George and Frances Ball Foundation on Cradle to Career work. We have cans set up at all the different levels, and there's an enormous amount of support through Muncie Community Schools, as well as with community partners, Ball State University, Ivy Tech. We appreciate all of the work going to try to work on education attainment with students. I wanted to give a shout out to our basketball team. They're right now undefeated, and that's a great place to be. Their next game will be on Saturday evening. And so let's keep our winning streak going. And then lastly, I wanted to point out that we will be sending out some holiday cards. I think, Jim, you actually have a copy of the artwork. And the artwork was done by a student named Guadalupe Sanchez, a 10th grader at Muncie Central High School. And her teacher is Carol Daughtery. And Carol, you're here. So why don't you come up to please come up and share a little bit. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. I'll raise this up a little bit. Thank you. It's an honor to be able to teach art at Muncie Central. This is my 6th year there since moving up after elementary teaching, which is a big switch, but it's been wonderful. Our students have such talent, and we appreciate that being utilized to support the school system and have artwork for the program for the community sing, and also for the holiday card. It's a great chance for our kids. And so having them just realize, whoa, I can be a part of something bigger. Art is a lot of times a very quiet, individualized kind of thing. And some of our students are not very upfront and ready to be applauded and things very often, but it's a great opportunity. So we thank you for that. Thank you, Chuck, especially.
Thank you.
Yes. My understanding is Guadalupe is also studying for finals, so I appreciate that all of our students want to do well. Well, and I also just want to take this time to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Any questions for Dr. K? On the George and Francis Ball Cradle to Career work that really grew out of the innovation plan approved by this board, we now have 57 organizations involved in supporting that work, which is really, really impressive. And I know that it is also a model that is being looked at across the state of Indiana in terms of what exactly is going on in Muncie that's so, why are they able to get so much support? So thank you to all of you who've worked on that, and thank you to the community that has so eagerly embraced us. Any additional questions for Dr. K? Okay. We don't have any signups for public. Go on to the consent agenda. You have the materials in your file on the consent agenda. I do want to, again, thank our donors who are so generous. The gifts to Panther Pantry this last month exceeded $17,000. So thank you to all who were so giving with that organization. We have our ESSER 3 annual required review, and that report is there. And I was trying to, I didn't see anything on personnel. Do we have any of our new recommendations for hire here tonight? Yes, please. Come introduce yourself.
Members of the board, my name is Zachary Hauser. I am being recommended to take the Latin position that is open at Muncie Central High School, effective January 2nd. I've been a student teacher here at Muncie Central for about 10 weeks, filling in for Hannah Wechter, who retired in May, as you might remember. After my minimum required period of student teaching through Ball State University, I took the position as a permanent substitute, where I'm currently holding the position, making Miss Griffin's life miserable as her Latin 1 teacher. She actually did wonderful on her final. I was grading those earlier today. So kudos to her, honestly. And I just wanted to thank the board for the opportunity and to remind you that while Latin is a dead language, it's very dead. Dead as a doornail. Don't get it twisted. It is really important for students to understand what it really meant to be educated even 60, 70 years ago. A person would not be considered educated without knowing the classical languages. Our founding fathers were well-versed in Latin and Greek. And they understood that even though, while their understanding of the world was limited compared to our standards, and the understanding of the world that the Romans had compared to what they had was even more limited per se, that lack of understanding makes them create their own knowledge, which is something that I seek to build in our students. Because in the classical world, it was a scary place full of gods and monsters that you could never understand themselves. And that creation of understanding in their own world is something that students need today because we live in a scary, scary world. And their language is able to make that happen. So I just want to remind that my program is here. I don't plan on going anywhere for a long time. I've been in this community for 6 years as a Ball State student, and I want to thank you all once again for this opportunity.
Well, I'm so glad you're here this evening. Thank you for coming. Did you happen to watch Jeopardy last night?
No, I didn't actually.
So here's the question.
Lay it on me.
3-word Latin phrase that was originally used by those Romans who were treating health issues, meaning substituting one thing for another with regard to medicine. When you're giving medication, one thing doesn't work, what would they use? 3-word phrase, now commonly thought of as something else.
A quid pro quo?
Exactly. You passed. I guess we're going to approve it.
I did make it to the second round of auditions for College Jeopardy twice. So,
well, I took Latin, so I'm a huge believer in the benefits of studying Latin. I don't think I understood the English sentence until I took Latin.
No, absolutely. That's one thing that I really want to build is understanding of English through the language. It rewires. There are studies that show, Shannon et al., if you want to check it in the Princeton Educational Review, wrote a beautiful paper on classical Greek helping dyslexics. But those principles can be applied for students studying English just through Latin and syntax understanding. So,
well, thank you for coming tonight, and we welcome you to Muncie Central on a full-time basis.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Well, on that happy note, any additional questions regarding the consent agenda? Any additional questions? Entertain a motion.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, thank you. We're on to the collaboration agreement. Mr. Jerome, you want, Mr. Jerome?
Yes. In your board package tonight, we have, in front of us, collaboration agreement, that lays out some of the details of what we expected for both the YMCA as well as Muncie Community Schools. It has the collaboration agreement, also talks about the details in terms of splitting the property. It also talks about the structure of the pool, the YMCA from right here on the site, and what our contribution would be from our 31st, which was free, the ongoing student contribution, as well as ongoing needs. Talks about the joint use of facility and real estate. And this has all been vetted by Attorney David Day. As I turn that over to you, have any other details you'd like to share, and we'll chat about this here with us also.
So in our discussions regarding the current existing natatorium at Muncie Central High School and its condition, it's estimated that to rehabilitate that and put it in position for long-term use would be in excess of $7 million.
That's my understanding, and that's our current swimming pool there, sitting right there next door at Muncie Central High School.
So we will have long-term use of this for our water sports programming and for additional phys ed programming for our students. Frankly, this is a remarkable project in the life of Muncie, Delaware County. It will approach $30 million in capital investment from a broad variety of donors, mostly private donors across the community and beyond. It is puts us on the map with many other communities that have engaged in these public-private partnerships, including Westfield Schools. It is an investment for of that magnitude for the well-being of our students and their families, and that doesn't happen in too many places at this level. This is a remarkable achievement, and kudos to all those contributors who have made it a reality financially. And so with that, do I have any questions regarding the document?
No, but I did go back and look at what it costs to operate our pool at Ball State University. This is very reasonable after I go back and review the costs associated with it. So the annual operating costs are very reasonable. The second thing I need to add is I will become a board member of the YMCA after the first year. I have no financial obligation with the YMCA, so I just need clarity on voting for this. I'm in favor of it. I just need clarity.
So my understanding, and you filed,
I will.
we'll file conflict disclosure when it comes to be, do you expect to receive any pecuniary reward as a result of your service on the board?
No.
Okay. At that point, you're free to refrain, abstain if you wish, but I don't see any prohibition against you voting. And I think that's also been the advice we've received from Church Hill. Okay.
Thank you.
Any additional questions?
I would just echo having an opportunity to be involved in the project from the beginning. You know, this has never happened in Muncie, and to do what is proposed, and it's not done yet. So if anybody out there has the interest to support it, we can always continue to use that support. But it's an awesome project, and one that is going to benefit not just the community, but directly our kids. And you know, I just think it's a unique thing. So with that, I'd make a motion that we approve the
Mr. Heater has
collaboration
moved.
agreement.
Second. Mr. Irvin has seconded. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. I will show that approved. Thank you. We're going on to the memorandum of understanding, and this has to do with the issue of, I believe, work between the YMCA and the Muncie Area Career Center as it concerns career and technical education.
That's correct. The next item there is the MOU between the MAC here with Caleb Beasley and the folks in administration there at the YMCA on how they would share services, share certain classes, share certain classroom activities. And this particular summary in front of you just tries to show all the number of types of classes they would like to put in there through those rotations, and to work out some of those details between Chad Zaucha as well as Caleb Beasley.
And I also believe it's also with Chris Walker,
Oh,
both
Chris
with the
Walker.
high school, with the Career Center, and with the YMCA.
So for the benefit of those watching tonight, it's the expectation that there would be certain classroom space provided by the Y for such things for students regarding EMT training in a partnership with IU Health, certified clinical medical assistant, early childhood education, work-based learning, anatomy and kinesiology learning, CPR and lifeguard training, rotations for MCHS clearer classes, adult ESL classes, child development associate classes, and high school equivalency programs. We are looking at servicing conservatively 300 students annually. And so again, the benefits to our students and their families of all generations is apparent from the document. Any questions regarding this? Okay. I need a motion.
So moved.
Second. Motion and second by Dr. O'Neill. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Post same sign. Okay, thank you. Mr. Jerome, financial reports.
Thank you. Here's our 11-month financial report for the month of November. Just 1 month to go. Just a couple of highlights for that. Right now, we expect to receive in our state basic grant almost $42.4 million of revenue. And if you're wondering, well, how does that compare to the previous year of like 40.5 million? We're actually up $1.8 million in revenue from the state of Indiana. That was based on the school funding formula for the last 2 years. I know they're in the long budget session right now to help determine the funding formula for the next 2 years. So we certainly hope it'll be as nice to us as it was these last 2 years. So even though we had slight enrollment dip, we had the revenue was up. So we're happy to report that. We still had ending cash balance at the end of November. Our total checkbook, a little over $39 million, still expecting that to be very strong. A balance such as that, almost $38 million at the end of December. We are still planning on paying our 2.4 million of long-term debt in December, the normal payments that we have structured for our payments, and we should receive the final installment of our local property taxes within the next 2 to 3 weeks from the county courthouse here in Delaware County. A couple items to note: out of that 39.4 million in our total checkbook, we have set aside in our rainy day fund, $13.9 million is now set aside in rainy day. And certainly that's more set aside than what our outstanding loan is to the state of Indiana. And that balance is now down to $10.5 million. So that kind of concludes my report for the month of November. There's some additional graphs, as I always show you. It shows the balance and where the cash has continued to increase over the last number of months.
Any questions for Mr. Jerome regarding the financial report? We're glad you're on the mend. Any questions?
Can you remind me again, what's our payment on the?
Yeah, right now it's 600,000 a year, and then that's backloaded, and then it'll go up in about 2 more years.
Thank
And
you.
it runs through 2028.
Thank you.
Anything that's got the hair on the back of your neck standing up other than the operations fund?
Not really at this time. I'm just, like I said, this is the fun time of year, making sure you get everything to balance and make sure we end up where we expected to. So this is, we're going to close the books on our new CompuTrol software, cloud-based software. We implemented that a couple months ago. So so we're happy about that. So no, we're doing well.
Okay. Any additional questions? Would entertain a motion to approve the financial report.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, thank you. Dr. Reynolds, the ever popular calendar discussion.
It's always a topic that everyone can always agree on. So I have before you today an amendment request for the 22-23 calendar, the 23-24 calendar, and the full adoption of the 24 and 25 calendar, which is new. For the 22-23 calendar, we really the update that is on there was the addition of Juneteenth. For the 23-24 calendar, we are asking to move the educational summit 1 week later. So for the last two years, it's fallen on the ADM count day. So which was maybe a blessing a few years ago, but then it was an audit fine this year. So the state is recommending that we don't have it on, but that we have kids in person on that ADM count day. So we're asking to move that summit 1 week later. And parent-teacher conferences, so that's also in September. So this year we tried something a little different. We had a two-hour early release days to hold conferences. We had a lot more interaction, a lot better engagement than we've had the last couple of years. Lots of classrooms had 100% in-person attendance. Others did not. So we're going to try the feedback we received from the principals and the teachers in a survey we kicked out is that they could use some evening hours. So on that Thursday on the calendar, you'll see 2 evening hours that we'll allocate, and we'll work with the buildings and the teachers to set up what those will be on Thursday. And then that Friday, we'll release everybody 2 hours early like we did this year, but then the students like we did this year, but then we'll let everyone go the 2 hours early to give those couple extra hours back to the teachers on that Friday. For the 24-25 calendar, you'll see those changes that we've discussed with Juneteenth, the summit, and the parent-teacher conferences, and all of the other corresponding start days, 5-day fall break, 5-day spring break, the 2-week winter break, that correspond with this year's calendar.
Okay. I assume that the calendar committee is, again, sought out broad input. And is there anything out there that's particularly argumentative or problematic?
No, we always have a few pop up. alignment with the Ball State calendar. The way it's aligned the last few years, our fall break, while they only do a few days at fall break, we do the full week. It's lined up. Of course, our winter break's lined up, but that spring break just does not line up. They go very early in March, and that makes while it may not make it a little less of a hardship on some of our Ball State families, but anybody else in the county, they all align. So all of the county schools will align with the same spring break. So if we have folks that live out there and come in here to teach or vice versa, it just makes it a little difficult to line up. So we voted to go on with the traditional route with the other county schools.
Okay. Any questions for Dr. Reynolds regarding the calendar? Any questions at all? Okay. Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Have a motion for approval. Do I hear a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you.
Thank you.
Show it passing. Dr. Bell, grant appreciation materials packet.
Good evening. President Williams, Board of Trustees, Dr. Kwiatkowski. The grant funds, the teacher appreciation grant has been issued by the state of Indiana. It is to go to licensed teachers who receive a ranking of highly effective or effective on their teacher evaluation. The policy was approved at our July 26th board meeting, and now we're asking that you approve the stipend amount to be distributed to teachers that in their 2021, 2022 teacher evaluation ranked highly effective or effective. Highly effective teachers will receive a 25% higher amount than teachers that received a ranking of effective.
Okay. For the benefit of those observing, highly effective teachers will receive a stipend of $661.02. Effective teachers will receive a stipend of $495.77. So what's the payout date on this next payroll?
Friday, the 16th,
Okay.
this Friday.
Okay.
But also taxes do have to come out of that. Sometimes we get calls saying, well, wait, I didn't get all 661 because taxes have to come out of that money as well.
Yeah, I thought we were just going to skip that. So, so that'll be paid that'll be out before the Christmas holiday. Okay,
What's the
good.
number? Do you like collectively?
We had 103 highly effective teachers. We had 170 effective teachers. 273 total will be eligible for a payment. Those numbers still correct, Dr. Bell? Yeah. Okay. It's like Lake Wobegon. Okay.
Move approval.
Move approval. You got a motion?
Second.
And a second? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, we've got Dr. Bell, an instructional specialist job description. That's in your packets. Is there anything you wish to add to that?
I would like to add that for those new positions of instructional specialist.
Specialist, right?
It will be more academic focused, helping students at Grissom and at Southview with supports in reading and math particularly. And then that pay rate of $17.50 is higher than $2 more than what our other aides make, which is $15.50.
Okay. Any questions regarding the job description? Okay, entertain a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Irvin's moved approval. There a second?
Second.
It's been seconded. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, we'll show that passes. Thank you, Dr. Bell. Mr. Grimm, we have novel list editions. And then civics textbooks. So floor is yours.
Thank you. Good evening, President Williams and the board, and Dr. Kwiatkowski and the cabinet. Thanks for having me here to speak about these two action items. And both of them have come out of our collaboration and partnership with Ball State University. The first one I'll speak to is our novel list edition. Muncie Community Schools has an approved list of novels in our high schools and middle schools. And tonight I'm asking to add some novels to the middle school edition, and can definitely see some high school editions coming in the future as well. These editions came from our Ball State PDS liaison, Dr. Binko. Came to me last year, kind of right when I started this job, and she wanted to add some novels to our middle schools. She had vetted these and had approved these. So Dr. Reynolds and I then took a look at these, as well as Mrs. Ward, to try to find out what exactly these novels were made of. We used things like Common Sense Media, some different sites that spoke to the content of these novels. And then from there, we were wanting to put these into practice for our kids. We have some grant funds that can be used to purchase these. They definitely bring a more diverse scope to our novels, and maybe with a little more relevant and engaging content. There's nothing wrong with the classics and some of the things that are on our novel list, but this just gives our students and our teachers a little wider variety to read in the classroom. So Dr. Binko also did kind of a thorough review of our previous novel list through Dr. Reynolds over last summer, and she presented that at the beginning of the year. So we would like to add some of these novels and can really see a few more coming down the road.
Okay, Dr. Reynolds, any comment?
And it really, it came through the PDS liaison work where they were meeting, weekly and monthly with the grade level teachers, and monthly with everybody. Just a nice grassroots movement to bring some good refreshed novels to our kids.
So Zach, I assume you applaud the addition of the Iliad.
Yeah, actually, I was about to ask Mr. Grimm to put me in contact with those educators. I'm actually more of a Hellenist than a Latin.
Well, we definitely want the Hellenistic side of your pedagogy to come out strong. So, and the cave rescue is the Thailand.
Yes.
Okay. Anything there give you any pause?
No, not now. So there were a couple that were asked for that did give us a little bit of pause. Maybe that just maybe had a little bit more content than what a 13 or 14-year-old middle school kid. So we're not asking for those to be added.
Okay.
So we did a pretty thorough review of the content to make sure that as a parent or as an educator, they would be something that we'd be comfortable with our kids reading.
And our full list is available.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, full list available online.
Yeah, just want to make sure that would be true.
Ms. Walker, or Rhonda, I'm sorry. You had a look at them?
Yes.
And you recommend them as well? Okay. Any questions? You have a motion? Second. All those in favor signify by aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Okay. Civics textbook, Mr. Grimm.
Again, this is another one that came out of our partnership with Ball State. So Dr. Roof was here at the last board meeting and spoke about the civics grant to the board and the community. So beginning in next school year in 2023, 2024, all of our sixth grade classrooms will be teaching the new civics standards. The IDE is pretty prescriptive as to when that will occur. That will occur in the second semester of the sixth grade year. To try to keep some uniformity across the state as kids are transient and move. They don't want kids missing this opportunity. If I in a school as a sixth grader in the first semester and my school teaches civics, then I move, and then I might miss out on that. So they were definitely wanting that to occur during the second semester. And they gave the latitude of sixth grade to do this because sixth grade teachers can be a variety of people. They can be elementary licensed teachers, and they can also be social studies content teachers as well. So they adopted these into the sixth grade. So in collaboration with Ball State, we're working on a lot of resources to give our teachers. One of them is this We the People book. Dr. Roof spoke about the We the People book at the last board meeting. His grant has been able to purchase these for our sixth grade classrooms to use. Like any other textbook, it is a resource that our students can use. The Center for Civic Education is the author of the book. They are recommended and approved, an approved partner of the Department of Education. So we would like to adopt this resource in for our sixth graders to use in the middle schools for the upcoming school year when our civic standards kick into full effect.
Okay. Any questions regarding this recommendation? Dr. Reynolds, did you have an opportunity to review this one? You're okay? Yep. Ms. Ward? Okay. Okay, any additional questions? Okay, entertain a motion.
So moved.
Moved. Second, all those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, thank you, Mr. Grimm.
Thank you.
Okay. We're on to dialogue of the board and future recommendations. Anybody have anything? I know, go ahead, Brittany.
I just want to throw something out. Not that you don't have enough to do, Mr. Jerome, but I feel like this falls in your wheelhouse. As we continue to see increased support at the Panther Pantry, something has come up to me multiple times if we could figure out a way for them to have a digital way to access donations. I know that we do different little fundraisers like at the high school where there are ways and platforms that are secure to do that. I know the university has it, so I don't know who you would collaborate with to create an account like that for the pantry, but that might even open up further donations for them and for other organizations. So I don't know what that might look like, but I thought that would be a fun new project for you.
Okay. I have Muncie Public Library here tonight, which has been a valuable partner for a long, long time. Akila, would you like to say a few words to us?
Go over this. My name is Akila Nasakari. That's my last name is Nasakari, in case you don't know that. I want to say good evening to the board president and thank you for this opportunity to speak tonight to the board, to the members, and also to Dr. Kowalski. Thank you. As a director, I want to thank you for a year of successful partnership in regards to our READ program. As you know, it's our online catalog, which allows the sharing of information, learning information, and instructional materials for our teachers, as well as reading materials for our students. It's been 5 years since that program started. I came in 2017, and it was just getting off the ground. And I can say that it's making great strides, and I do appreciate that. The materials, as you know, are selected from the catalog. The library, we use our vans to take them to the various schools, to the students, as well as to the teachers who want to use them. In 2022, we expanded to include Inspire Academy, and we work behind the scenes to ensure the use of the latest technology to allow students who are in, say, that YOC who cannot get a physical book, but they can get an online book or a novelist book, which we have as well. So I'm glad that we're reaching out and including all of the students here in Muncie and Delaware County. And I want to commend you on the progress for the last 5 years. You've really helped us to develop this program, and it's been quite a success. In 2022, we joined with Muncie Community Schools, the Heart of Indiana United Way, Ball State University, and others to push towards increasing literacy rates within Muncie and Delaware County. And as you know, it's one of our great strategic plans to the library to continue pushing this. This past year, Katie Lehman, who is head of our Ready Readers program, which begins with the young ones, teaching them the sounds and all of that, bringing them up as readers. She was named as the state youth worker for the Institute of Youth Services here in Indiana. And we're so happy that to have Katie on our staff here at the library. And working with you, we hope to push for another great year in 2023. As we break for winter holidays, let me again thank you for recognizing our staff, the professionalism that we have in our staff. As you know, Beth retired and we have a new liaison for you, and that's Laura Geezy. She couldn't be here tonight, so you have me. So I'm here reading to you. But on behalf of the Muncie Public Library, I thank you for working with us, and we are your partners in public education, and we're very happy that you recognize our expertise and our long legacy of helping to educate the public free of charge. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Keila. So we have some chocolates at our table. Are those from the school?
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the chocolates. I love the box.
Sugar-free, right?
This is our last meeting, I believe, before the holidays, so let's, yeah. Have a wonderful holiday, and our students and faculty and administrators who have given us a successful semester. So thank you. Thank you to our security team for all the work that they do for us. And just everybody have a blessed holiday. With that, any media inquiry?
Rick Yenser, our new media, Manifest Destiny reporter on Facebook, and the Whistler podcast on Spotify.
You're everywhere, Rick. You're everywhere. You have platforms galore.
We continue to spend new media.
Yeah. You're
Question or two about the Y agreement, how will students and their families have a discount or approved use of that facility?
the students and faculty students and their families will enjoy the sliding fee scale that they enjoy now, that everybody has. There will be other benefits, including the aquatics, the physical education, the classroom space, early childhood education. So the benefits received by the community of Muncie Community Schools will be significant. And that was the second collaboration agreement between the MAC and Central and the Y. But we're looking at a facility which will be state-of-the-art, nearly $30 million, and we get the gift of proximity. Proximity to our students and their families in a safe space where they will be able to receive educational and emotional benefits, which will be valued beyond measure. And I think about my own time as a student at Union County High School and what I wouldn't have given to have a facility right there on my campus. And I'm just very thankful to the Ball Brothers Foundation, the George and Francis Ball Foundation, the Y, and countless community donors who have reached into their pocketbooks to donate hard-earned money for the benefit of not only the community, but more specifically for Muncie Community Schools and our children and their families who deserve the very best.
And the career center agreement, will those be licensed teachers or just instructors teaching this class?
Those will be both, the combination.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Yenser. Any additional media inquiries? Everybody have a blessed holiday, and we'll do a motion to adjourn because Cindy will call me out if I don't. So, Tasha's second. You guys are on fire tonight. You're like a...
Y'all lagging a little bit.
It's the COVID.
The Chick-fil-A.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by aye. Opposed, same sign. Thank you all. Good night. Thank you.
Merry Christmas.